Today, we're going to be talking with Karl. Karl teaches some classes for engaged agility, and we're really trying to figure out what some of the magic is that Karl uses to be engaging, and maybe learn some stories about Karl to find out what kind of guy he is. So Karl, welcome and thank you for coming. Karl, tell me a little bit, just anytime you're teaching a class, what is kind of the main approach that you take? What kind of tips and tricks do you use in class to make it fun for the students?
Well, the principal thing, I don't know if it's a tip or a trick, or it's just observation, but helping people to ground the principles in their experience. The people that come to these classes, they're ready to put these principles, practices into practice. They're ready to execute on this, and helping them understand how it can benefit them personally and their organizations is really the key. You got to see themselves in it.
Yeah, it has to be relatable for them, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I know that you've worked at several places and worked with a bunch of teams and stuff. Is there a story that stands out that kind of really centers into an agile principle somewhere, something that you're like, man, those guys really understood it deeply?
Yeah, what comes to mind is a story that I've related before, primarily because it made such an impact on me. It struck me deeply, and seeing how it plays out and how other people relate to it is important to me. But at a previous employer, it was a major automotive OEM or equipment manufacturer. We did a plant walkthrough with the president of our primary customer. And that customer came to our plant. They wanted to see how their product was being manufactured. We had several of the VPs from my company there. I was there representing our IT department. And as we walked around the shop floor, at one point, a janitor, one of our janitors, stopped our little tour, stopped our group, and reached out to or addressed the president of our customer, who this guy didn't know who he was, but addressed him and very matter of fact and very kindly told him, "I'm sorry, but you've got a ring on, and your ring on the shop floor, on the plant floor, is in violation of our safety protocols, and we can't have people being unsafe on the plant floor. You're going to need to remove your ring or go back in the office, in the front office." And the response that he got was not only positive but instantaneous. The customer, the president of this company, immediately removed his ring, said thank you, put it in his pocket, and moved on. But what I took away from that was priceless. As we try to help people understand the principles that drive agility, trust is fundamental. And the confidence that this employee, this janitor had, that not only the principle was valid and sound, and that the practice that sprung from it was sound and valid, but he knew that he was going to be supported by his leadership, that the decision he made, as long as it was consistent with those principles, was going to be well received. So he trusted the principles, he acted on them, and he trusted his leadership to provide him the cover, right? To be there for him and back him up as he executed on those principles. It was a fantastic experience.
Very good. That's awesome. Yeah, trust and empowerment from a company, it can go a long way for anything, but it can certainly go a long way for an agile transformation. That's for sure.
Trust not only carries us, but it's very easy to see how the lack of trust can torpedo so many things in our lives, whether personally or professionally. We've got to be able to trust the people that we work with. When we're executing, if we're on the tactical end of things, we have to be able to trust that our leadership is giving us the information and tools that we need, and that we're aligned with them strategically. They have to trust that the commitments we're making, we can keep, and we can execute what we say we're going to do.
Yeah, it's very much a two-way street, right?
Absolutely.
Karl, tell me, we all kind of have these aha moments in our lives, and I know where my aha moment when Agile just really clicked, and there's just this very clear vision of what happened there. Tell me where your aha moment was for Agile. What is it that just cemented it in your mind really well?
Yeah, I've had I think a lot of those little realizations, but one of them that comes to mind is the first time I saw the iron triangle, which I was so familiar with and that I loved and trusted from my project management days, when I saw that inverted. And the point was made that scope is not the thing that is fixed in this world. What is fixed are the constraints of budget and time. And we need to begin to approach the world in terms of, and approach our work in terms of those really, the real constraints of budget and of time, and understand that what's going to end up moving is the scope. And as we can do that, we start to see the world as it is, start to see those realities, and then respond to it in a way that creates value and for our organizations.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always fun to know where the agility itch started with people and where they've gone with it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic example for me. I saw this thing that I had always trusted was true, and saw it through another lens. Yeah. And it was a very, very productive learning example for me. And I've used it as an example to help others understand some of the principles behind agility as well.
Yeah, very good.